Hi guys. This is probably a really weird video idea, but it kind of like stems from something else that I was thinking about. Um, okay, so as you can probably see from the title, this is about like what it's like for me, like what being skinny is meant to me. I just want to say, like, obviously I'm not stick thin, and for some reason, like it does. I feel embarrassed saying that I'm skinny. It's like something that you shouldn't say, like as if every girl should think that they're fat. That's kind of like a pressure put on you by, well, your peer group. I suppose like none of my friends would admit that they're skinny, like, none of them, and they mostly, they mostly are. Um, but anyway, I admit that I'm skinny anyway. So I'm not like, but like I said, yeah, I'm not like deathly thin. You don't like look at me in the street and go, ugh. But I am thin. There's no way you can say that I'm like chubby. Well, I mean, people have said that I'm chubby, but I just don't agree. Anyway, I'd say like I feel embarrassed now because I've said I'm skinny, but yeah, I'd say like I've always been the same. Since I was little, like I've never been properly. I mean, I've had like little stages of being pudgy, um, like during puberty or whatever. A few of my friends used to tell me I had a pot belly, and I've been like, well, I'm not sure exactly what I weigh right now because I'm just avoiding the scales because of the last few times what it said, but I've been sort of half a stone heavier than I am now, and that's like the heaviest I've been, and I didn't like it. I think the reason why it's so important to me really is because it's the only thing that I've ever liked about myself really was the fact that I was skinny. Like obviously I'm not pretty, and um, so at school I'd be surrounded by all these girls that are so pretty and everything, and I'd just think, well, at least I'm skinny. Or some people I would know, I would think in particular about them, yeah, you're prettier than me, but at least I'm skinnier than you. Like that's what I would think in my head. And of course, I never said that to anybody. Um, like for example, I had a friend in when I was in year 8, I think. I was like 12, 13, and she said to me, she was like, "Oh, how much do you weigh?" And I told her. She said, "That's going to be my target weight. I'm going to be as skinny as you." And like I panicked, and I just thought she's so much prettier than me. If she's skinnier than me too, then like my boyfriend's gonna leave me and for her, and I'm just gonna have nothing. And I used to think it as well about, this is really bad, but I used to think about people that were more intelligent than me. I'd think, well, at least I'm skinnier than them. That's just how my brain's worked the whole time. So like whenever I meet someone who is like I said, like stick thin, I just feel threatened. I don't know why. I'm being really honest here, so don't be too cruel to me because everybody has thoughts that aren't good like that. But I'm just being really honest about it. It helps when some people are honest, because then someone else is thinking what you're thinking. Really, it's like I watched this other self-harm video, and this girl was saying that she felt like if her cuts weren't bad enough, then she wasn't a good enough self-harmer and she wasn't worthy or whatever, which is such an admission and like such a confession. It just sort of inspired me that I would talk about this. Um, I've never had like an eating disorder or anything, but like when the girl said when I was little that she was going to lose weight and be the same weight as me, I did stop eating as often just because I was threatened. I felt like it was an attack against me. I didn't feel like she just wanted to be. Obviously now I know that she wasn't trying to compete with me, and she wasn't trying to threaten me. But that's how I felt at the time. I just felt threatened. A couple of times when I've been really miserable, I have lost a lot of weight and been underweight, but only when I was really miserable and never on purpose. And even I didn't like it. Like I didn't like being underweight, and I put the weight back on. But yeah, when I I don't want to get too specific because I get a bit pissy with people if they say that they felt fat and then they say what weight it was, and I'm just like, that's not fat, you idiot, you know. So I don't really want to get in there with numbers, but when I put on sort of 6 pounds more than I wanted to be, so I went on slim fast diet, and I lost 2 pounds a day for 4 days, which I know isn't healthy. Like, I wasn't intending to lose 8 pounds, I just wanted to lose 6 because I wanted to get back to normal. But it does make you feel good. It's I don't like. I've always found it quite easy to be slim because I was just born that way. Like, I can pretty much eat what I like, but then when I do eat, people say, "Oh, you didn't eat much." So it doesn't feel to me like I'm controlling anything. I'm not in charge of it. It's just how much my body wants, really. So it's been easy to stay skinny, and it's just something that I cling to when I'm feeling insecure about other things. So when I do put on a little bit of weight, I panic because being skinny is like the thing that I rely on to make me feel better about anything else. So, you know, when I did put that 6 pounds on, I just panicked and just thought, I need to lose it, I need to be slim. I think it just does stem from like insecurities and just like being ugly, because people don't know what it's like to be ugly. If you're not, you just can't imagine it if you're not. It's like, I couldn't explain it to you. So because I'm ugly, I just need to be skinny to feel like I'm worth anything. This does sound very eating disordery, but it isn't. It's just like, just something. I couldn't have an eating disorder because I can't like limit myself with food. I just really love food, and I have no willpower whatsoever. Like I said, when I was in sort of year 8 and that girl said she was going to get to my weight, I did stop eating as much, and I keep a diary. So the other day I was looking through it and I saw that sometimes I'd just eat one thing a day or something, but I still feel like it wasn't an eating disorder just because I've been in my own head, and that I know that I wasn't obsessed with it. It was just a competition with her. It wasn't like my life was out of control and I was trying to control that. I just wanted to be skinnier than this pig person. So recently I did feel myself getting a little bit calorie county, but I think I stopped it by just eating healthily, but lots of it. I'm genetically very skinny because my dad is, so I have inherited it. But I have had problems with like my family accusing me of being too thin or whatever over the years. Like my dad used to. I don't see him anymore, but when I did, he used to say it a lot. Like when I was 14, I was skinnier than I am now then. But, you know, we'd go out for a meal and he'd be like, eat more, you're too thin. And it did upset me because I wasn't trying to be thin particularly. Well, it just felt like it was no one else's business anyway. But when you're naturally quite slim, if you lose a little bit, then you look quite slim. I think if you're a bit heavier and you lose a bit, people don't notice or they encourage you. And then my mum every now and then is like, oh, how much do you weigh at the moment? You look too skinny. And but then when I do tell her, she's always surprised because when she was younger, she was the same, and she forgets. Yeah, so basically, yeah, just wanted to make a video about that. Just so it's something that does matter to me, and you know, the other day I bought this like sailor outfit thing to go clubbing in, and I wore it, and like I put it on, and I just immediately just felt so fat in it, and like, because you could see my belly button, like, I don't know how to put it. I put it on and like it was see-through, so you could see like where my belly button dips in. And I just thought, oh god, and I weighed myself on a couple of pounds more than I like usually am, and it just put me in a really bad mood that day. And my mum's the same, really. Like, being skinny does make her feel good, and then if she isn't skinny, it's just on her mind all the time. And I guess it is the same for people that are heavier anyway. I guess that's all I'll say about it.